Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Valagar Aloevain, back for some more Threnal. So the last one there, we had done the first two parts of our Eastern, or the Library of Threnal, section of Threnal. So we're going to do now our third part. So it does kind of give you a little bit of information. So we can try to diplomacy him. So he can give you this potion. It's nothing major. Let's see what we got here exactly. He gave us a potion of cure serious wounds. So again, nothing. Oh my God, we're saved, but it is a little something extra. So if you watch this video, watch the previous video. At the very end, I kind of did a quick description of this. This quest here, we're in here for 15 minutes, and we have to defend this location. Now, we do get an optional to keep the attackers from giving Coil an incapacitating injury. Basically, keep them from killing them. There's a real easy way to do it. You talk to him, you can bluff him, and basically you clonk him over the head, which knocks him out. At which point he lies down on the ground, and he won't actually head out to attack anybody. The other way, of course, is to have somebody to defend him, to make sure that he does receive healing, and then of course to just do as much damage as you can as fast as you can. As you can see, they already took out one of our explorers, which, considering he died in the last one, I mean, he was looking pretty good for a dead guy. And again, as you can see, he dropped real fast. So I am happy that they've gone back and given a look at this quest, because it used to be very difficult to keep Coil alive throughout the entirety of the 15 minutes, and to have like one little mistake, have him die, then have to restart the whole mission. Like, it was a little much to have to do every time. Oh, seems like he's got hit with acid there. Let's give him acid resistance, nice little heal, and knock him out again. So, yeah, as you can see, like, it is a fairly slow quest. It's sitting here, waiting for the spawns to come in. There we go. And then killing the enemy, and then it resets. So think of the iron golems as the end part of each one, and then it moves on to the next group of enemies. And yeah, it's basically this for 15 minutes. So now that you've checked it out, obviously, I mean, feel free to watch the rest of the video. Who knows what's gonna happen? I might get one shot, or, you know, it might just be an uneventful 15 minutes. But yeah, so it's probably my least favorite one because of how slow it feels. I get a lot of feels from the Devil's Assault quest out in the market. It has that similar feel, but again, with the difference of trying to protect someone. So it's just that extra mechanic that everyone always hates: escorting and saving NPCs, making sure the AI isn't completely stupid and kills itself. At least this one, we can knock out the AI, and it really is a nice feeling to just be able to hit that AI in the head to tell them to not be stupid, which they do until they're hit. bonk him on the head again. Another method is, of course, if you happen to have casting like invisibility on them. Of course, resistances really help, fire, acid, and cold, because there's a decent amount of enemies in here that do use those types of spells, and in an AoE type manner. And another great one is Blur as well, which I do happen to have that one as a scroll. But ultimately, it's mostly a waiting game, just waiting for things to spawn. Alright, there's Iron Golem number 2, so we are halfway through the main event. Or rather, 5 minutes through a 15-minute quest. So yeah, like, super boring. Once we complete this part here, I do want to point out one thing you definitely want to make 100% sure is that you do not re-pick up the quest. Similarly to Necropolis quests, where you complete the 4 outside ones to be able to pick up the 5th. So, for example, all Shadow King, Shadow Guard, Lord, Knight, you complete those 4. And then once you complete the 4, you can then pick up the Shadow Crypt quest. Oh, and of course I hit him. And, however, if you happen to pick up the quest first and, like, re-pick up this quest, so in this case, talk to Sal and re-pick up these quests, we will not be able to enter our Southern Excavation or the Abandoned Excavation to do those quests until we go back and re-complete these ones. So it definitely, unless you want to sit again for 15 minutes to be able to run through this, highly recommend not going through and doing that there. Okay, so other than that, I guess we could talk about some of the new upcoming. So Feywild is coming out. Really excited to bring that to you guys. I know nothing about by choice. Generally, when it comes to content, for me personally, I love to go in as blind as possible. I know right now they have previews on Lamania. If that's your thing, go ahead and check her out. They have discussions on the forums, as well as, you know, look at the loot. Now, the loot I generally don't mind spoilers on. Gives me a little bit of time to look through what I want to actually go farm out. But, like, even quest names I generally don't like, because sometimes there's a lot in a name. Which is why even with the named items, sometimes they give you a little hint about what you're going up against. So, like I said, I like to go in as absolute blind as possible, because then it gives me that sense of wonderment as I'm going through it. And, I mean, as I've been playing this game for so long, I think I have, actually, how much time do I have? On Steam, currently at the time of recording this video, I have 10,061 hours recorded on Steam. Now, all my playtime for this game hasn't been all on Steam. There has been actually the first 2.5, 3 years I played this game. I didn't yet have a Steam account, and I wasn't obviously playing it on Steam. So that time does not include the first 3 years, which were probably my heaviest 3 years of playing this game. So there's what I'm trying to get at is there's not a lot of wonderment I have left with this game. I know most of these quests, most of the raids. Though the raids I don't know as well, specifically because I focus a lot on other aspects of the game. I do want to get into raiding more heavily than I am, but I've been so focused on TRing my character that I'm generally not around high enough levels long enough to really be able to get into that well enough. But once I get my TRing done and to a point where I'm satisfied, then I definitely want to look into getting into that raiding and getting into that whole other side of the game. But yeah, so there's not a lot of wonderment left for me in the game. So any little bit of wonderment that I can pull out of it, such as when new content comes out, to not look at a thing and just go in absolutely blind, it brings that whole sense of wow back. Like, even with the free quest, which they released not too long ago, actually just a few days ago, the the something flame, price of flame, or hang on. Price of freedom, no. The promise of fire. There we go. So yeah, even with that new quest, like, even though it was actually a fairly short quest, they had some nice mechanics in there, and like, if you watch the video, it didn't take me long to figure it out how it's working out. And I mean, it wasn't a very difficult quest in comparison to some of the others that we've done on this channel, but it was new and it had that sense of wonderment. And unfortunately, you know, even at this point, it's been a few days since that quest has been out. I've run it several more times to this point where the quest itself really doesn't interest me anymore. Like, I don't have, obviously, a sense of wonderment because I've now run it a few times. But after so many hours in the game, like, there's not much I haven't done. But I guess that just goes to speak to, like, how unique this game is. I really haven't found anything else out there like this game that even comes close to the feel that the dungeon crawl that you get out of this game. So, like, even after all this time, I still play this game, and I still derive a lot of enjoyment out of this, even in quests like this one, where you're sitting around for 15 minutes. I wish you could just, like, ring a bell, which they actually did implement in one quest, but where you can sit there and ring a bell to spawn the next wave a little bit faster. That way we don't have all these bits of nothingness in between. Alright, so here we are right near the end of the quest, just about a minute and a half left. Now, what I do want to point out is once you get to this point and you finish off basically all the enemies here, you're actually going to start running into kind of the boss, and he's actually going to hop down here and fight you himself. Now, once he does, everyone's going to get up. It's going to bring in some soldiers here. But the quest actually isn't completed, and you'll see there in a second here. So here's our Flenser. So the next should be our big bad boss that's been bugging us each and every mission. Now again, if we kill him quick enough, he won't actually... Well, again, we'll finish just a little bit before the timer runs out. Unless they've changed that there. Yeah, so here he comes. Again, if we kill him quick enough, that's it. Now we got the optional for defending him and slaying him, but as you can see, we still don't have that full 15 minutes, so a lot of people don't pay attention to that. They just grab their loot, they hit recall, and unfortunately, if you do that, you won't get the complete. If, however, you start recalling at about 5 seconds left, you would be able to get out. And as you can see, even after it's done, you got one more wave. But I mean, ultimately, you already got the W. And yeah, that's it. So, hope you guys enjoyed, well, let's say it. This quest is one of the more boring ones, so I mean, you probably didn't enjoy the quest. Hopefully you enjoyed the commentary and my thoughts on the game. And yeah, I will see you guys later. Have a good one all.